Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be discussing the primordial goddess of the primal font of fresh water, Tethys. So she's actually a Titan goddess, but she's still primordial in the fact that she is still associated with a nature aspect, in this case fresh water. Fresh water which nourishes the earth in particular. She is the wife of Oceanus, who is the earth encircling fresh water stream, and the mother of Ptolemy, who is the god of the rivers, as well as the nymphs of the springs, streams and fountains, and as well as the mother of the clouds. Tethys is the daughter of Gaia, and she fed her children's springs with the waters of Oceanus, drawn through the subterranean aquifers. Her name was derived from the Greek word Thes, meaning nurse or grandmother. In Greek vase painting, Tethys often appears as an unremarkable woman, accompanied by the goddess of childbirth and her husband Oceanus. In mosaic art, she has been depicted with a small pair of wings on her brow, which probably signify her role of mother of rain clouds. She was once identified as the Queen of Heaven, who was then cast into the ocean stream along with her husband by Kronos. She was most likely connected with Thesis, the mother creation, who we have done a video on before, and she was who appears in the Orphic cosmology. Tethys was described by late classic poets as the sea personified, and then was equated with Thalassa, who I think we did her video last week. So here are some mythologies that she can be found in. So this is in Homer's Iliad. So this is Hera addressing Aphrodite. I go now to the ends of the generous earth on a visit to Oceanus, whence the gods have risen, and Tethys, our mother. This is in Hesiod's Theogony. It says, Thetis bore to Oceanus the swirling rivers, Nile, Alpheus, and deep eddying Eridanus, Strymon and Meander, Istrus and the beautiful waters, Phaseus and Rhesus. Please excuse any of my pronunciation on any of those names. I'm struggling a bit today. And then it goes on to say, she, Thetis, brought forth also a race apart of daughters, who with Lord Apollyon and the rivers have the young in their keeping all over the earth. Since this right from Zeus is given them, they, like a goddess, so it goes on to name all the daughters, which there is quite a few, so please forgive me for not listing all of them, because there's quite a few here, of the lovely statue and ox-eyed Pluto, and as well as the alluring Cyclops. Who among them all has the greatest eminence? Now these are the eldest of the daughters who were born to Thetis and Oceanus, but there are many others besides these, for there are 3,000 light-stepping daughters of Oceanus scattered far and wide, bright children among the goddesses, and all look alike from after the earth and the depths of the standing water. Now, I'm not kidding you when I say there's a lot of names here. I swear there's about 30 to 40 names here listed of the daughters, so quite a lot. And that's not all of them, as the myth actually says. So then in this one, it says, Prometheus bound. The Oceanids, offspring of fruitful Tethys, and of him who with his sleepless current encircles the whole earth, children of your father, Oceanus. In this one, it actually describes how she helps with the fertile soil. It says, what more fertile plain will you find in place of our Thebes, this deep-soiled land and water of Dirce, which is the most nourishing of the streams, that earth encircling Poseidon and Thetis' children pour forth. So she actually does appear in quite a few, which makes sense as she is obviously the mother of fresh water, and there's obviously a lot of myths in relation to either fertilized soil, sailors needing, sailors sailing in search of food and things like that. So she does appear in quite a few. In this one, in these myths, it's her as the mother of creation. So in this one, this one actually goes in a bit further with one of the other ones I just spoke about. So it's Homer's Iliad. So starting off with like her addressing Aphrodite, where she says, since I go now to the ends of the generous earth, on a visit to Oceanus, whence the gods have risen, and Thetis our mother, who brought me up, kindly in their own house, and cared for me and took me from Rhea. At that time, when Zeus of the wide brows drove Kronos underneath the earth and the barren water, I shall go visit these and resolve these divisions of discord, since now for a long time they have stayed apart from each other, and from a bed of love, since rancor has entered their feelings. Could I win over with persuasion the dear heart within them, and bring them back to their bed to be merged in love with each other, I shall forever be called honoured by them and beloved. So this is where you really, I suppose in this particular phrase, you can really see how some of the later gods really honoured Thetis as their mother, and would do things to help her and to ease her suffering. And then in these myths, this is her as the... So then there are other myths where she is the goddess of the river, which makes sense because rivers do have fresh water. She does appear in some of the Trojan mythologies, such as this one. So it's here Thetis, all embracing arms were wrought, and Oceanus, fathomless flow, the outrushing flood of rivers, crying to the echoing hills all around, to right, to left, rolled o'er the land. And then in this one it says, Olympian Zeus himself from heaven in wrath smote down the insolent bands of giants, grim, and shook the boundless earth, Thetis and Oceanus and the heavens. And then in these ones it discusses Thetis as the constellation Ursa Major. So it says, Thetis, to honour her foster daughter Hera, forbade the constellation Ursa Minor set into the waters of Oceanus. And so then this one goes into a bit more detail. So, says Zeus put her Callisto among the number of stars as a constellation called Ursa Major, which does not move from its place, nor does it set. For Thetis, wife of Oceanus and foster mother of Hera, forbids its setting in Oceanus. This then is the greater Ursa Major, but about whom it is written in Cretan verses, thou too born of a transformed Lycaonian nymph who stolen with the chill Arcadian height was forbidden by Tethys ever to dip herself in the Oceanus, because once she dared to be concubine to her foster child. So, showing more the relationship between Tethys and Hera, and how she would also defend Hera and Zeus's, and also from Zeus's many affairs. She was also associated as goddess of the sea, and there are a few there. But like many of the primordials, I haven't been able to find a cult dedicated to her. I would assume that she did have one, because she did seem to play quite a major role well, she does show up in quite a lot of myths. So I would assume she did actually have one, but I, as of yet, have been unable to find any information on that. But I will keep looking, and as soon as I do, I will let you all know. And in that case though, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week, and we'll be back next week with another video. Bye!